Police, and welcome back to another multiplayer battle. Here with me is Tokshen. Hey, Tokshen.
Hello, Surreal. How are you?
I'm doing alright. Right now, we've got a battle at the Battle of Hell Fen. And I've got my own army over here. Well, I'm looking at yours right now, but I have my own army in the woods right now. I brought in, I believe, 3 Chaos Marauders. I brought in, I believe, 3 Chaos Marauders with great weapons. I brought in 2 Giants, 2 Forsaken, 2 Chaos Spawns, and a Kolek. Oh, not only that, I brought in Armored Trolls too. And my goal right now is to bash right through them. What did you bring for your army?
Our theme is very bashy. I am leading a column of spears, swords, a couple halberdiers with 2 steam tanks, and the whole point is to out-chariot the chariots in this game. So I'm going to just try and bust through the front lines with the steam tanks and just go full frontal. We're also going to bring in 2 Empire Knights on the left flank, and then I'm led by a generic Lord, a Light Wizard, and a Warrior Priest, which I am kind of liking more nowadays.
A little bit, yeah. Alright, well, let's look at what they have right now. They've got a pretty formation, but that's about it. I was going to say pretty good, but then I paused and went, no, it's just a pretty looking one. Now, they have a bunch of spearmen in the very front. They have great swords. They have swordsmen behind them. And again, you do not want to do what they're doing here. You only want shields here to block any missile fire, but beyond that, you're not going to do very well. I thought they were going to bring a lot more halberds, but they did not. Now, they brought in a bunch of cannon, and I know that gave you a little bit of trouble. They brought in 2 Karl Franzes on Deathclaw. They brought in a Light Wizard and a Witch Hunter, but beyond that, it wasn't really a big challenge.
The Hellblaster volley guns are a little bit of a concern of mine as I'm charging straight forward with my steam tanks, and they're sitting right in the middle of the field. But that's not going to deter me. I'm still going to charge in under all of this mortar fire. As
I actually, sorry, go ahead. Now, I thought that kind of helps you out a little bit because, I mean, you had your tanks going up front and they were trying to shoot you. Now they have a scatter shot and they have an easier time hitting a giant group of men than hitting your own tank. Now, I am watching them begin to focus fire upon one tank, but I think that great cannon, I think they had one. No, they had a tank too. And that is really what did a lot more damage to your initial tank on the left flank.
Yeah, and right now I'm trying to give targets for my tanks to fire. Like, I'm trying to focus down the tank, but also trying to move forward. But when I give an attack order, my tanks stop because they're in range mode right now. And I'm like, well, shoot, now I got to keep moving forward. So yeah, as I'm moving forward, they're just going to shoot at whatever the AI determines that they should be shooting at.
Yeah, I do wish you could have a little bit more control over that. Now, in the woods over here, they've got Demigryph Knights, and my big goal here is to cut them down. Now, if you look over here, they're on a cliff. They can either move way back to the top right, or they can move towards me. And that was really not a good location to put them in. Why? They're in the woods right now. They're not going to be able to fight effectively, yet I've got a lot of creatures here who can bog them down. Right now, I'm having my Armored Trolls and my Giant go right over here. My goal is to get rid of 3,000 gold worth of Demigryph Knights, and that is what they are. We've got 1,500 for each, and they're about to die. And then I'm going to focus over here on their left flank while you hit them with a steam tank, which is causing terror, too. And I'm watching you pile drive right through them.
Yep, these steam tanks, I think, are the best chariots in the game. They can easily just go right through infantry lines to get into the squishier people behind them. Although this time, there's no real, like, correlers or handgunners to get into, so I am trying to get to the mortar teams as Karl Franz tries to stop my steam tank. It actually does a pretty good job. I can't get through Karl Franz that easy. But my left tank did break through the lines. Now I'm into their mortar teams.
Oh yeah. I'm watching that happen. And right now, I'm beginning to fight the Demigryph Knights, and they do not move. I don't know if they forgot about them or what, or like they knew that they couldn't get by. Because I mean, if they try to charge through right now, they're going through my entire force, and I'm beginning to hit too. I have my Giant coming forward. I'm all around them. Kolek is coming through too, or he will be. And man, he does a lot of damage. But I mean, they have a long line. I don't care. Who cares if you have a long line if I'm going to hit only one part of your line? And that is what I do. Kolek is now bashing in. Crawling in.
And I'm getting a rude charge. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go on.
I was getting a rude charge in on their mortar teams and their rear lines with my Empire Knights that I swung all the way to the left flank at the same time there.
Right. Let me go check it out real quick. Go watch what's happening over here because I actually have no clue. Yeah, you were right behind them charging around through Knights, and I'm still trying to cut through. My goal, again, is to go back to what I used to do. I wanted to get back into formation, and I tried to stay in formation. I didn't really micromanage as well as I wanted to. I have a few Forsaken just kind of chilling out here, but I wanted to make sure that I got off a flanking attack, because, I mean, really, if you do that, it's worth wasting a moment or two if you can actually flank them appropriately. And the Demigryph Knights actually took a moment to kill. Like, I'm here killing them, but it took a while to get them all down. And right now, Kolek is moving in. I know that eventually I fight Karl Franz, but they're beginning to shatter on the right flank completely.
Yeah, all that terror that you have there with does Kolek give terror?
I don't believe he does.
No,
oh wait,
he
yeah?
does. Yeah.
Oh, great. Well,
so
great.
both him
okay.
and the giant, right, are now causing terror and fear. So they are shattering over there.
Man, look at that go. Here comes Carl Franz trying. Oh, the big giant. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, my entire goal here was to go back to causing fear and terror. Now, again, I've been doing a thing now where I've been going after Demigryph Knights on their own, because usually the player has them on their own, and if they're on their own, you can beat them. I mean, yeah, they're very strong, but you can bog them down and beat them. But they probably would have had an easier time had they kept them back to fight me.
Yeah, it looks like they just mismicroed the Demigryph Knights there, and that's what made them lose a lot of money in this match so far.
And right now, I'm beginning to bring in more of my men to go after them. They were beginning to waver for a time, but like, how's it going on your side? Because I didn't really get to watch what was going on over here.
My side is going pretty well. I'm using my Light Wizard to buff my soldiers, and I'm using my Warrior Priest as well to buff soldiers to get some kills on his Barded Horse. I think you should always bring a War Priest on a Barded Horse because it doubles his armor. If you don't do that, he's going to be even more squishier than he kind of already is when his spells are off cooldown. At this point, my Knights are also trying to help you on the right side, and my Steam Tank has charged in to cause terror and to try and break them on the on our left side as well.
Okay. Well, the Knights are gone. I'm beginning to bring in my spawn to come help you out now. I'm bringing in another giant now, and I'm trying to get my Marauders information. It's a darker map, and my guys are kind of darkly armored. It's kind of hard for me to like know what is what, unlike the Empire Force where they're wearing a lightly colored uniform. I use my spell again by Kolek, and I bash a bunch of greatswords. I don't know how many I killed, but I'm sure I did a lot of damage, though, because, I mean, we got over 120 kills at the very end of the fight, and we're at 109 now.
Yeah, if you don't focus down Kolek in the beginning, then he's gonna just ravage your lines. The problem is, though, these players didn't have any handgunners or crossbows to do that. Kolek is a very lowly armored unit. He is very big, so if you have a bunch of crossbows, you can take him down pretty quickly. But these players brought mostly anti-infantry and like greatsword units instead.
Right. Which, again, they're only meant to kind of hold your enemy in place. That way you can use your gunners or your crossbowmen to focus things down. If you're unable to do that, you're not going to beat me in a pitched fight. And they didn't. And I'm actually shocked that you were able to hold as long as you did, only because, I mean, you had 2 steam tanks, so you didn't really have like a beefy line, but you held for a very long time. Like, I don't think you really broke during that fight.
It was all because of my priest and the buffs from my wizard. Like I had my people be very defensively focused with those 2 leaders, and the halberds in general are a decent holding unit, which is why I got them.
Right.
And so they're able to hold off the greatswords for a little while, and with support you can bring them down. Also, my steam tank is still just causing terror and being a pain in their backsides.
And right now I'm beginning to move in even more, and I'm beginning to completely eradicate them. Now I know that I'm trying to get a backline over here to take care of that fleeing foe. We're kind of reaching the very end now.
And I see like all 3 of your monsters are teaming up on their steam tank in the middle.
Oh yeah.
They're just having a fun old time.
Not today. Check that out. That is a lot of fun to watch. A little bit more to go. Alright, Carl Franz, what about you? What?
I was just watching your Giants destroy that steam tank. It was fun.
Okay, the spawn are now charging in too, and we're at the very end now. Carl Franz, I mean, he had a lot more health left, but I don't know, maybe between Kolek and 2 other Giants, yeah, he was kind of like, okay, you know what, forget it. I'm out. Yep, he's out. And we beat him down.
Yep.
Alright, let's end that battle real quick, and we can go look at what happened here. I'll go over what's going on for me. Yeah, I had 1 giant take a lot of damage, but, I mean, in the very beginning, I also had another giant going after Demigryph Knights, and they did a great job. They bogged them down. 3,000 gold gone in the very beginning, which is really bad. I mean, that is a large portion of your gold at that point. And to let all of you know, we would play on a larger type of battle size, but we get a lot of people who do not either have good connections or a good PC, and it lags even on what we're playing on now. So to keep it safe, we kind of play on the current size that we're at now. Anyway, my Chaos Spawn didn't get to really fight that much. My Trolls did not really get to fight that much. They got 50 kills. My Forsaken I did use to flank in the very beginning, and they did incredibly well, a lot of kills, and I didn't really take a lot of damage. Like, if you look at my force here, I barely took any damage. What about you?
Yeah, you Not that much damage at all. My forces, on the other hand, did take a lot of damage, but I kind of charged up the center of both of the enemy players because I wanted to get my steam tanks in their back line and cause terror back there and just cause them trouble. And you can see one steam tank did get stopped by their Carl Franz. It got bogged down and wasn't able to get through all of that infantry quick enough, so it actually died with only 32 kills. My other steam tank, though, with 105 kills, was able to get through the front line, bust them, and was able to stay alive the rest of the battle. My 2 Empire Knights, one of them actually got caught by the enemy's Reichsguard out in the open, so they didn't do too well. But I did manage to get a couple cycle charges with the other knight, which is why I got 121 kills. And yeah, it's when we shut down their artillery, a lot of their money was taken out, and you can see like their Hellblaster volley gun for Hunt only got 22 kills, so it's kind of a waste of money. Their steam tank didn't do too bad though. I'll say that. And I'm actually really happy with my warrior priest. He was up against spears, not the most advanced of units, but he was mounted. But he still managed to get 52 kills and buffed up my front line of swordsmen with defensive buffs. So I was really happy with him.
I mean, considering your guys didn't really break, I feel like that was a pretty good thing, though, because like I was watching your force, because I mean, if you look at your linemen, they're not really high-tier guys, and they held pretty well. And again, you were fighting not only one guy, but two. I mean, that allowed me to flank, which is why I didn't really lose too many. But yeah, you fought a great portion, and you were able to come out ahead, and you probably lost a bulk of that from one steam tank, which is to be understandable. But beyond that, yeah, you did really well.
Our strategy was great, disrupting their lines with the steam tanks, and you just came in with all of your monstrous creatures, and they had nothing to shoot them down, and so they just came in from the right flank and just went down the line. It was a beautiful sight.
Okay, well, thank you for watching. Check out our channels down below, and look forward to more content. Until then.
Take care, everybody.